Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into quite a divisive one, Nicolas Winding Refn's 2013 film, Only God Forgives.
Yeah, divisive is definitely the word. We've got sources from right when it was announced, all that anticipation from 2013 through to the really deep critical analysis in 2014.
And our mission really is to figure out why. Why did this film get such extreme reactions? Love it or absolutely hate it?
And to unpack all that symbolism the critics dug into, because, if you believe the analyses, everything in this film means something. No wasted shots.
Okay, so context. This is the big follow-up, right? Refn and Ryan Gosling, after the huge success of Drive in 2011, expectations were sky high.
Immense pressure. Drive was seen as this, superb drama. Everyone was waiting for another minimalist masterpiece.
And it got the Cannes nod straight away, Palme d'Or competition. But it's a total shift from Drive's LA.
Oh, completely. We're dropped right into Bangkok. Dark, neon-soaked, kind of claustrophobic. That's where it was filmed, too.
Oh, the setup. Gosling plays Julian. He's running the family drug operation out there.
Right, an American in Bangkok. And the whole thing kicks off when his brother, Billy, who's depicted as pretty monstrous himself, gets killed after this truly horrific incident with a prostitute.
Which brings in the mother, Crystal, played by Kristin Scott Thomas, and wow.
Yeah, she's not just a character, she's this force. Aggressive, scary, really runs the show.
At first glance, she seems like, the stereotypical gangster's mall. Tacky, chain-smoking, vulgar.
But the reviews really emphasize that she goes way beyond that stereotype. Her, let's say, depravity runs much deeper. And the sources hint pretty strongly at this highly suspect relationship she has with her sons.
Okay, so that sets up Julian's inner turmoil right there. She's positioned as the root of it all.
Exactly. Which leads us straight into why people reacted so strongly. It's that phrase you hear constantly, love it or hate it.
Or you get it or you don't think there's anything to get. It's like a cinematic Rorschach test.
And the critics pinpointed two main things deciding which side you fall on. First, are you okay with working at viewing a film?
Meaning, do you like ambiguity? Or do you need a clear A to B plot?
Precisely. And second, how much stomach do you have for, the really dark stuff? Delving into the darkest tunnels of the human soul and enduring some truly horrific violence.
Yeah, if you're squeamish about violence or psychological darkness, this film probably isn't for you.
Refn basically weeds out a chunk of the audience right there. And that polarization, it even hit Gosling's performance, which is unusual.
Right. How can one critic see this subtle, haunting inner struggle just in his eyes?
While another sees basically nothing. A poor performance, one facial expression, hardly any lines.
It seems contradictory.
Well, one source puts it quite bluntly. It says the difference depends on how closely you want to look.
So if you're looking for traditional emoting, you see a blank. But if you're reading the visuals,
the subtext might emerge, and that's the whole key, isn't it? Refn's communicating visually.
The sources hammer this home. Everything is suggested not through words, but through images.
The mise-en-scène is the narrator, and no shot is wasted. That's a strong claim.
So if the visuals are the language, we need to look at how Julian's torment is shown.
Let's start with his hands. The sources mention this again and again. Constant close-ups.
Signifying shame, right? Fear of what they've done, what they might do.
Exactly. It's like a visual tell, foreshadowing what's coming. His hand is always reaching, trying before it gets severed. It signals that ending.
And the lighting, too. Julian's almost always alone, often in shadow.
Reflecting his soul, basically. That heavy red lighting everywhere isn't just style. It blurs the line between reality and nightmare. It's his mental state visualized.
You even see it on Gosling's face sometimes, right? That half-light, half-shadow thing.
Symbolizing his dual nature, the conflict inside him, the violence versus the maybe flicker of conscience or shame.
And this connects back to the mother, Crystal. The editing makes that link explicit.
Yeah, the sources point out how scenes of Julian with his girlfriend May, these potentially intimate moments,
keep getting interrupted by flashes of his mother's face.
It's not just random cuts. It's telling you she's always in his mind during sexual experiences or fantasies. It shows how that highly suspect relationship has poisoned his intimacy.
Okay, so if we're seeing the world through his warped perspective, that explains the structure. It's subjective.
Right. Like Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, which the sources explicitly compare it to. That's why mainstream audiences might bounce off it. It's not giving you objective reality.
And structurally, Refn apparently reinforces this.
Yeah, one analysis notes that the action often just stops if Julian isn't in the room.
Suggesting the whole narrative is filtered through his mind, his tortured experience.
Pretty much. It's his perspective, his nightmare maybe. Which brings us to another visual motif. doorways.
Ah, yes, the doorways. The sources call it a major theme, though maybe overused.
But it connects it back to those classic films again, like Taxi Driver and The Searchers. Always thresholds.
People crossing into danger or judgment or different states of being. Julian and Chang are often framed by them.
Constantly entering or exiting these spaces, these moments of consequence.
So if Julian's trapped in his own head, who or what is Chang? The policeman.
Vithaya Pansringarm, the mysterious cop with the samurai sword just striding around Thailand dishing out punishment.
He feels different, almost supernatural.
The sources really lean into that. Is he a divine force? Is he literally God? The film asks you that directly at one point.
When that other cop asks Julian, do you know who he is?
Yeah, it's clearly prompting the audience to see Chang as something more than just a cop.
But he's such a strange figure for divine justice. The sword, the suit, the karaoke singing.
It's very specific, isn't it? Grounding this potentially abstract idea of justice in this very surreal, very Bangkok reality.
Is that tension intentional? The divine and the kind of mundane or absurd?
Seems likely. And in terms of what he does, Chang gives Julian the punishment he seems to subconsciously want. He cuts off the hands.
The source of his shame. So it's punishment and maybe a twisted form of redemption.
That's the interpretation. Julian can't escape his actions, but Chang provides the release through retribution.
The whole film feels steeped in that kind of surreal, nightmarish atmosphere, though. Not just Chang.
Yeah, like that weird, beastly devil-like image seen briefly in the gym.
Just a glimpse of the monsters Julian feels are around him.
That's how the analysis reads it. And then there's the karaoke. Those scenes are bizarre.
Chang singing these really sentimental love songs.
While his colleagues just sit there, poker-faced, watching intently. It's incredibly strange.
And the critics were split on what that meant, too.
Yeah, two main takes. One, it shows the absurdity of life carrying on amidst all this horror. Two, maybe it's just a cultural thing. Thai people love karaoke.
Even sword-wielding angels of vengeance.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
That jarring contrast seems to be the point, especially when we talk about the violence.
Which was the major sticking point for many critics, wasn't it? The extreme, repulsive violence.
Hugely controversial. But Refn's defense, or rather the critical defense of it, is interesting.
It's supposed to make you feel sick.
Exactly. It's not meant to be cool or fun. It's not a cheap thrill. The argument is, if film violence doesn't make you flinch, has it become trivialized?
So Refn is making a statement about violence in cinema itself.
That's the idea. He's challenging the viewer. There's that specific line during the hairpin and skewer scene in the club.
Oh, yeah, that's intense.
An unseen voice tells the women, keep your eyes closed, but tells the men, take a good look.
Wow. That's laying it right out there.
It's a direct challenge from Refn. Look away and ignore the darkness, or look closely and try to understand something about, the human condition, however ugly.
So ultimately, what's the film about? Is it this fight for Julian's soul?
That's the core interpretation. He seems almost to welcome the punishment, the hand severing, with outstretched arms.
Suggesting redemption is possible, even for someone like him, if they truly seek it.
Possibly. But then the ending throws a real spanner in the works. It gets very ridiculous.
After Crystal dies, Julian does that horrifying thing, trying to get back inside the wound.
Yeah, really disturbing image. A desperate attempt to undo everything, maybe, to return to innocence.
But then, immediately after, the shot changes. His mother is replaced with his whore, May.
And the source explicitly calls that not a good sign.
Meaning his attempted purification failed. He's just stuck in the cycle.
That's the implication. Or maybe none of it's real. The final question left hanging is whether any of that last sequence actually happened outside of Julian's head.
We're not privy to reality, as one source puts it. It could all just be his ongoing nightmare.
So summing up, we've got this narrative told through visuals, a deeply subjective and tortured point of view, and an experience designed to polarize.
It demands you engage with its style, its symbolism. It doesn't offer easy comfort.
No, definitely not. It rewards the effort of looking closely, but frustrates if you're expecting a conventional story.
Which leads us to a final thought for you. If the film's look on, the mise-en-scène really is the narrator, and Chang is this silent singing embodiment of justice, maybe even God.
Then is Refn suggesting that real justice, in Julian's world anyway, isn't something rational or spoken? Is it something that has to be visually inflicted, brutally felt, and ultimately something you have to seek out for yourself, even crave?
What part of that silent visual punishment, that strange justice, stands out most when you think about this film? Something to ponder?